hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. As promised, Miss Madeline Brame is here. She is ready to drop some truth nuggets and truth bombs. And I know you're excited. I promised, as you can see, I wasn't making it up. And we're just so glad that Miss Brame took time out of her very busy schedule. She's doing a lot. She's busy just like all of us. And so it's an honor, Miss Brame, that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to come here and share some information with us, because we're always told, of course, by the lamestream media that everything that we're hearing is not true. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our roll call. If you're familiar, you guys that you've been here on the channel for a while, we've been talking about the ongoing migrant crisis and what's happening to the sanctuary cities, and we know nothing good has come of it. And so let's go ahead and do the roll call. If you want your name called, just type it in the comment section. They're blowing the comment section up for you, Miss Brame. All right. Aurelius, Chicago Hood, Alley Cat, Florida, Prosperity. How are you, Miss Prosperity? Please share this with your Chicago crew that's coming on next Sunday. How you doing, Asia, James, Mary, Tijuana Border Jumper? They're all saying hello. And Tijuana Border Jumper says, thank you, Ms. Brame, for bringing us the truth. That yes. You know, she's been on Fox News several times. She spoke at the Republican National Committee. So you know she has a lot of truth bombs that she wants to drop for us. Now, let me read the title of today's live, and then I'm just going to let Ms. Brame take over. How Biden's migrants destroyed New York. Special guest, Miss Madeline Brame. Now, Miss Brame, how are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
What a pleasure. What an honor.
Yes. We've been talking. I told you, now, when I started my channel, I started it, doing book reviews, and I was like, I must be getting old. Celebrities I loved as a child, people were starting to die. So I started reaching out to celebrities and interviewing celebrities. But when I started paying attention to this migrant crisis, I said, whoa. This is what I need to be covering. And I've started it probably a year ago. And I've been shocked. I've been stunned. I cannot believe that this is America. And I want you're living. I don't care what these news outlets say. We know they're all biased. They're not going to tell the truth. I want to hear from someone who is living it every day. You share with us everything that you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you are experiencing on a daily basis as it relates to the migrants that have been dumped in your community and what you're having to deal with as a result.
Yeah, well, I actually work in Midtown Manhattan, where the migrants have been dumped right into the heart of New York City, right in the Herald Square, the famous Macy's 34th Street.
I do.
And Times Square where the ball drops on New Year's Eve, right in that whole circumference, right? Wow. All the 5-star, 4 and 5-star hotels, all right, that normal people could not afford to spend one night in. Okay. These migrants have been dropped into these hotels. First, when they first started busing them in, they were dropping them on the sidewalks, literally.
Wow.
And barricading them behind barriers. The police barricades, like the parade railings. All right. Blocks and blocks of illegals. All right. Children, men, women, children, just left behind these barricades for weeks at a time. Oh, wow. In the winter, it was starting to get cold. Now, these people, number one, are from warm climate. So they have no concept of what winter feels like,
Okay.
especially a winter in New York. All
You
right,
got
so
that
they
right.
gave them the silver blankets. Now there are a lot of community-based organizations and a lot of Catholic charities, different organizations around the city who do outreach and different things that came and gave them blankets and coats and boots and shoes and different things. But
Yes, ma'am.
the optics of it, all right,
Right.
the optics when
Optics.
our mayor
Yep.
started busting all these people in the middle of the night. All right, and we didn't know, except for there were a few independent, journalists that
Yep.
were capturing this stuff and putting it up on social media. All right, so then the media
Right.
had no choice but to cover it
That's
because
right.
they were constantly telling people that it's not true. All right, but
Yep.
it was consistent. You couldn't ignore it because there were thousands of them. All
Yep.
right, and the Hispanics are the ones who got the housing first, who were housed first into the hotels. I'm talking 5-star hotels, all right?
Yes, it is.
Room service, 3 meals a day, all right? And afforded all the opportunities and all of the resources that were being flooded into this illegal migrant crisis.
Right.
Um, the Africans or the Haitians, the dark skinned people, the blacks, were the ones who remained on the sidewalks the longest before they
Oh,
actually
wow.
found a place to put those people. And then they started migrating them up to places like Harlem, where all the other blacks are, Brooklyn, all the other blacks are. All right, so they started the segregation. All
Oh,
right,
wow.
but the Hispanics, they placed into the into the hotels in Midtown Manhattan.
Right.
So I'm going to work every day. All right. I get off at 34th Fourth Street, Howard Square, right across the street from Macy's Penn Station. And I walk 3 blocks over to my job. Right.
Right.
So I'm walking through all this on a daily basis. The place is filthy.
Wow.
Stuff that we've never seen before. We've got women sitting on the sidewalks with children. Okay, breastfeeding one up underneath them, and the other one sitting there, on the sidewalk, and she's begging for change. We've never seen this happen here in New York. If that had been an American, they ACS, CPS, or whoever would come and snatch those children from that
Yep,
mother.
they sure would.
All right, and
Yes,
we
they
were seeing
would.
this on a daily basis. I had some pictures, but I couldn't find them. I was trying to send them to you because I was trying to get footage myself. All right,
Yeah.
and putting it on social media. And that was a daily occurrence until people just started couldn't ignore it anymore. All right, and
Right.
then they would write little snippets in the paper about kids on the train selling candy. You got little
Heard about
4 and 5 years old, four and
that.
five on the subways by themselves selling candy. All right, and so anyway, we started to see the segregation and the racism, if you will. All
Oh,
right,
wow.
of the way they were doing these migrants. Right, these illegals. The Hispanics were getting all the services. They were wearing Timberlands and uptowns and North Face and $1,000 baby strollers and $1,000 phones and stuff that we can't even afford. We work every doggone day.
No, we can't.
And we see these people walking up and down the sidewalk, and we acting like
Oh,
they own this now. We got to get out of their way, and
oh,
we're working people. We're the ones who's paying for this. No respect. Then the crime wave started
oh
with the
God.
scooters. I don't know where they got those scooters from.
We
All right,
bought them.
but they had to have money. They had to have money, and it was the money that they were getting from welfare.
Yep.
All right, on those debit cards, what
Okay.
Eric Adams is claiming and FEMA is claiming wasn't happening. All right, but it was coming from somewhere.
You know.
It was coming from somewhere.
Right.
So
Facts.
then the crime wave started happening with the
Oh,
scooter crimes, snatching chains and snatching pocketbooks, and walking by and just punching people in the face randomly and
right.
snatching, pushing people in front of trains. The rapes started excuse me, broad daylight. Now we have our own homeless problem. All right, we have our own crime problem,
Yes.
especially with the new bail reform policies and
Right.
all the other kind of stuff where they let all the criminals out of jail. All right,
Yeah.
so we had them already in the street. doing their regular crime that we're familiar with, you know, they're
Right.
selling their drugs, doing their robberies, and I'm not trying to minimize it, all right? However, now we imported this whole new breed of criminal element
Yep.
and put them right into the street to, commit all types of crime that we've never seen before, right? The broad daylight rapes.
Oh
The
boy.
broad daylight rapes is something that should have
Mm.
alarmed everyone, where they were actually wrapping belts around women's necks in the middle of the day and dragging them between two cars and raping them right there on the sidewalk. And if it weren't for the cameras that were on the buildings or on the street,
Yeah. Yeah.
the street posts,
Right.
people would never known about that. That's some third world stuff right there.
Third
Right?
world.
That don't happen here. But it
Yes.
was live. It was real. It was real. And that still wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. Now we have the mayor that is under federal investigation, all right, for misusing funds and campaign finance, and then his whole entire, hierarchy of leadership from the
Yep.
top on down, they're just falling like dominoes. All right.
Yep.
And a lot has to do with the investigation into the migrant crisis, the monies. All right. Anytime that there's that
Yep.
much money up for grabs,
That's
okay?
it.
All
That's
them
it.
billions of dollars, it's ripe for fraud, waste, and abuse, right?
Always.
It's nowhere in the world should our governor or Congress allocate that type of money without strict oversight, all right? To make sure
Yeah.
that that money is being used for what it's supposed to be for. This is what we see happening with FEMA, all right? FEMA has no oversight. They oversee themselves. All right. And they give contracts to different, organizations or people where, it's just ripe for fraud, waste, and abuse. That's why we see all of our tax dollars
Mm-hmm.
being wasted and being spent. Okay. And we really don't see any results because
Oh
people are
wow.
pocketing that money.
Oh
People
yeah.
are stealing that money. It's corruption.
And they are. And
Yeah.
Miss Brown, do you agree with me? And I was talking in Prosperity. She and her crew from Chicago, they came on, and I think that's why, even though Brandon Johnson, he knows his constituents are upset. They
Yep.
keep telling them we're going to vote all of you out. He
Mm-hmm.
still will not speak out. Do you feel? And this is what the Democrats do. They set you up. And as long as you don't speak out, because they have dirt on everyone, and now your mayor, he's under all this investigation and all these indictments because he spoke out of turn. And the Democrats, the party of diversity, equity, and inclusion,
Yeah.
you don't
Yep.
speak out of turn. Do you agree with that?
What, that DEI?
Do you agree with I'm saying they're going after him? He spoke out of turn,
Well,
so he's not
that
out of
that may
step.
be part of it. Listen, let me tell you something. That may be part of it, right? But this is not something new. It's especially in New York.
Right. Oh
I hate
yeah.
to say it. I hate to say it. The first thing that they want to do is cry racism, right? When in
Facts.
all actuality, the entire apparatus, every organization or department that's running the city of New York is headed and ran by Black people. So
Facts.
who's being racist against you?
Same.
I mean, how do you have the audacity to say that when you get busted,
Oh, it's racist. It's white
they're
supremacy.
racist? All right, or it's because I spoke up? No, because the FBI agency, the FBI agent who brought the charges is also Black. All right, so how are we crying racism?
That's what
No,
they've been taught.
this is about right and wrong. People
Mm-hmm.
are getting tired
Mm-hmm.
of constantly DEI crap, right? Because it's crap, right?
And it is
We need to base people on their merits, not because of the color of their skin. You
facts.
understand what I'm saying? They're teaching this stuff in school.
Yes, they
They
are.
have lowered the bar. They have lowered the bar to almost nothing.
You
The
got
kids
that
don't
right.
even know how to write their name in script. All right. So
Right.
how do they sign an application for anything if they don't know how to sign their name? Print. They have two lines on every application: print your name and sign your name. These
Facts.
kids don't even know how to write in script. That's because
Nope.
they saying that writing in script disproportionately targets minority students. All right.
Oh,
And it's too hard for them to learn how to write their name in script. So we just eliminate it
that's
altogether.
another
Right.
excuse.
And this is something that they're doing across the board in every, aspect of our life, in
Yes.
every thing in society that makes us the country that we are, that makes us exceptional, around the world. And they have removed all of those requirements and standards.
Yes, they have.
Okay, and they lowered it to nothing. So, in
Yep.
other words, you don't have to. You have the expectation is so low. You
Yeah.
don't have to demand excellence from you anymore. So you don't have to be good at nothing. You could be the worst, and you could still, thrive and be accomplished. No, it shouldn't be like that. You're
Everyone.
supposed to work for that. You're supposed to earn that.
Everyone gets a trophy, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
Boys and girls sports and all this other kind of nonsense. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And you're
and, and
right.
so these are the things that we can go on and on, because it's all connected. It's all connected in one way or another. Um, the changes that are happening, the things that we see
Yeah.
compared to, what it was just 4 short years ago.
Well, yeah. It's
4 short years ago, we have, it's like the difference between night and day.
and
We're
it is.
broke. People are broke. They don't have no money, worrying, how do I keep the roof over my head? How do I pay my car insurance? How do I buy food?
It's
And
bad.
we work every day. But we see migrants with EBT cards, $12,000,
Yeah.
okay, $5,000, but then you want to give the hurricane victims $750.
You can't make this stuff up.
That is so disrespectful. You want to give Ukraine 8 billion just last week, a few days before the doggone hurricane.
Right.
Zelensky was here, and he came here to get his check,
He sure did.
billions. Then he met
Facts.
with Trump. And Trump told him, he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll work with you. We could cut a deal as long as it's fair for everybody." All
Mm-hmm.
right, and
Right.
don't expect any more after that, because once we cut this deal, it's over,
Yeah.
and we
Facts.
will have peace. And
Facts.
that's the outcome of the deal. There will be peace. You
Right.
know. So
Exactly.
I don't want to turn this into a political, but we
Right.
can't talk about this stuff without,
You have to.
bringing politics into it.
And,
But
and you're
the
absolutely right.
the people in Chicago, the people in New York, we are both experiencing, sorry, the same thing. All right.
Right.
They have dumped these migrants into the poor minority communities. Then these people are sucking up the resources, the scarce resources
They're
that are
right.
already available for the people that live there. It's not fair. It's not right. It's un-American. Okay. And there are millions of people who live in these communities, right? They go to work every day and pay taxes, right? And
Yeah.
we would rather our tax dollars pay for Americans,
That's
right?
what I.
Americans first, right?
And
And these people have no business even being here. These women, come here, they were already pregnant and they already have 2 or 3 babies now, and getting all these anchor babies, all right? And, that we need to stop that. We need to stop that mess. I understand that, this is America and it's the land of the free and home of the brave and
yeah.
opportunity and different things like that. And we believe in helping other people, but there's
Right.
a right and a wrong way to do things, right?
Facts. Facts.
We've been having immigration, we've been having immigrants come to this country since Ellis Island, okay, since before that. But I'm talking about legally,
Right.
come through ports of entry, right? There's a legal way to do this. I have a very good friend, an African who, was a real African from Ghana, all right? He came here as an exchange student, all right, about 20 years ago, and he did what he needed to do to get his green card, right? Once he got his green card, then he established himself here. And he,
Right.
stayed out of trouble and he paid his taxes and kept a job. and now he went and took a citizenship, and he has dual citizenship.
Oh,
It takes
wow.
time. It takes time.
Yeah,
However, once you get those papers that you need, then you know that you're official. All
you're
right. And
official.
then you are free. You're free to make as much money as you please. All right. You're
Right.
free to live the American dream. All right. These
Right.
people coming in here illegally, I know, just like everybody else knows, that it's a way for, a certain political party to hold on to power. Right.
New
However,
voting base.
little do they know, especially with the Hispanics, okay, that those are conservative
They're
Catholics. All
conservative. Yeah.
right. Those people are conservative. They don't believe in abortions. They don't believe in none of that stuff. All right. They believe in working. All right. Now, I also want to, reiterate, so I don't want the listeners to be confused about anything that I'm saying, that my position on this, I
Right.
believe, I believe in equal opportunity and everybody having fair opportunity. However, I don't believe in doing it illegally,
Right.
right? Because once your first step into this country is legal, then anything after that is illegal. All right, because
Right.
you didn't come through the right way. You didn't
Right.
come through, and I can't respect and I can't appreciate,
Right.
my tax dollars going to support these people. I'm
Okay.
sorry, and we hope that Trump gets elected, all
Okay.
right,
Okay.
and that he sticks true. He stays true to what he said, that he was going to start deporting, especially the criminals.
He said he
Especially
was.
the criminals, the ones that were let out of jail, the
Yeah.
ones that were let out of asylums. All right, they have no business being here. We
No.
have enough problems of our own.
We had enough crime. We didn't need it. We didn't need
We
added
didn't
crime.
need more added to it. We didn't need more added.
Um,
You know.
okay.
So
Tijuana, yes. Thank you for that point. And I've been saying that America had enough crime, especially Chicago. They
yeah,
didn't need any more.
we
Um,
don't need it.
so Tijuana Border Jumper, thank you for the super chat. Tijuana Border Jumper said, Mrs. Brame brings up a point. Voter verification through signatures, another ploy to voter fraud. Yeah, yes, and that's exactly what she's talking about. All of you who are here, please go ahead and hit that like button for me. Prosperity also said something. How you doing, Raquel? All of you who are here. She said something for you. Like, all these people are commenting. I have to
Uh,
find it. Woo! These comments are coming fast and furiously. So, Prosperity said, welcome to Chicago, same crap. And then she also said, oh my goodness, where is it? Oh, she said Americans would have been fined and or arrested. So she's referencing what you were speaking about with the what the women are doing, and you know how CPS is.
yep.
Come and grab your children, but and see Biden's migrants, they get a free pass with crime and with everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see if I can find Prosperity. I guess Prosperity is asking about the women that you were talking about who were SA'd. Were they American women? She also asked
No,
that question.
no, there was a few instances. I think there was a couple of white women. Okay, a
Uh-huh.
couple of white women that were assaulted and raped,
Oh wow.
and I think one or two were murdered. So those were white women. These were, I won't call them random acts, because the perpetrator, okay, the rapist, all right, was always an illegal. All right,
Mm.
like we wasn't always just a woman that was assaulted either. There were men who were assaulted. Cab
Yeah.
driver strangled with a shoestring.
God.
Our criminals don't strangle people with shoestrings. They don't strangle people with belts either. All right. If
Right.
they're gonna rob you, our criminals, all right, Americans, they're gonna rob you in a cab. They're gonna shoot you. All right.
Yep.
They're gonna
That's
shoot
what they
you,
do.
rob you, and take your stuff and run.
That's what
They're
they
not
do.
gonna take their time to take a shoestring and strangle you from the back seat of the Uber with a shoestring and just steal the money and the food.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Now, the women, I think the one who was dragged between the middle of between the cars, she was Hispanic. She was a
Oh,
Hispanic woman. I don't know if she was here illegally or not. All right, but I know the person who did it wasn't illegal. Was a migrant.
right.
He was a
Right.
migrant. Yeah.
So
So we got stuff happening in Central Park. All right. They talk about the Central Park Five of years
Right.
ago. All
Right.
right. We got groups of Venezuelan gangs, young teenage boys that are raping women and robbing women in that park just on GP, just because they can. These are like kids at a candy store, and the awareness of New Yorkers is so low. All right. They don't think that this can happen to them. They think because they live in a certain zip code
Oh
that
yeah.
it's not going to affect them. But you see, let me tell you how stupid they are. All right. A
Mm-hmm.
thief is not going to rob from somebody who don't have nothing.
You
All
got that
right.
right.
He's going to rob somebody who got something worth robbing.
You got
Okay.
that right.
So he's going to go into their zip codes, the ones that voted for the sanctuary city mess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to climb up their fire escape
You
and
got
break
that
into
right.
their apartments. They just caught one the other day,
Oh wow.
going up the fire escape, climbing up fire escapes, a gang of them. And these are teenage boys. Then you
Ooh.
got the open air prostitution that's going on in Queens. Okay, the brothels. Young girls,
Mm.
12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Instead of being in the school, they're out there on the track.
Oh no.
Okay, and they're doing nothing to try to shut this down. Now this is AOC.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is something that she's championed,
Of
trying to make
course.
prostitution legal.
Of course.
All right, because it benefits her. It benefits her.
Mm-hmm.
So the quality of life in our communities, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, okay, Nassau County, Suffolk County, Rockland County, Westchester County, anywhere, Rochester, Buffalo,
Right.
anywhere that they dump these migrants off, and anywhere that they let the criminals go from out of the jails when they instituted bail reform, all
Right.
right, and they decided not to prosecute crime anymore, all
Good.
right, because of these laws, because it disproportionately affected poor minorities, right, but they're the ones that
Right.
are disproportionately committing the crimes, you
That part.
know I'm not anti-black. I love my black people. However, right is right and wrong is wrong.
It's either right or it's wrong. It doesn't matter what color you are, like you said earlier.
It doesn't matter.
Nope.
So it's like, these people who instituted these policies didn't think that this stuff would affect them as long as they can keep it on the plantations.
Huh.
The zip codes that have the invisible, barriers around them, and people know not to go 10 blocks this way or 10 blocks that way. The people
Right.
who have never been off of the plantation, who
Right.
don't know anything about how to live any other way than what they see in their hood or their neighborhood, and this is just real. This is just real talk,
Yes, ma'am.
but the people who instituted and championed for and advocated and lobbied for these policies that the current administration put into place,
Yep.
right? They didn't think that it would affect them.
That's
But
right.
now it's starting to seep into their zip code. Just the other day, a former governor, David Patterson,
Right.
black man, remember the governor of New York, the blind governor of New York?
Yes.
Him and his stepson, they live on 96th Street. That's real upper scale, real up echelon.
Ooh.
Okay, part of Manhattan. Were attacked in the street by
Oh,
three Venezuelans. Okay, attacked and robbed.
wow.
12, 11, 12, and 13-year olds.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. So this is the age of these Venezuelan migrants, these unaccompanied minors. Okay, that came into to our country unaccompanied. These are the type of crimes that they're doing. All right, and they're doing it in neighborhoods where they know that these people have something worth stealing. Right?
Let,
They're not stupid. They're not stupid.
let me ask you something, Miss Brom.
Yeah.
Um, so what are your thoughts? And I don't know, I've done several videos where I've discussed these Democratic shills, these Democratic puppets and plants, and these black preachers and celebrities who are used, like you said, to try to keep black people on the Democratic plantation.
Yeah.
They're speaking, they're telling us. I was just looking before we came live. Urban Magic Johnson,
Oh
he's
wow.
actually telling black people to vote for Kamala. Get out of here, guy. And so, what I want to know your thoughts, because I've been saying on my show, I don't listen to millionaires or billionaires. Oh, I did a show with Oprah. She's telling black people to vote for Skamala. So, what are your thoughts on knowing everything that you've seen, that you're seeing on a daily basis, that you're experiencing so far as the crime? And again, how do you feel when they're telling us, because you know what happened in Chicago? I don't know if you saw my video. This the party of diversity, equity, and inclusion,
Mm-hmm.
they went and put these signs out in the black community and said you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah. Be
You of
ashamed.
all people, uh,
Yeah.
not accepting these people. You were immigrants. Well, I mean, all this. What the guilt trip that they're placing on Black America? What do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to come out. I'd like to start by answering that question with something that's going to empower, okay, and uplift
Okay.
the listeners, okay, and
Okay.
inspire them. First of all, um, the guilt and shame piece, okay.
Yeah.
They've been trying that on us, and we've been falling for that for decades, all right. So we've been falling for it. However, this is the day. This is the day that we need to tell ourselves, why are we going to allow rappers,
Yep.
athletes,
Yep.
actresses,
Okay.
actors tell us what to vote for, who to vote for, and how to vote for it, and we should be ashamed of ourselves if we don't. When
Right.
these people got millions and billions of dollars
Thank
and
you.
do not live anywhere near, they don't experience, they
No.
have no idea what we are faced with or dealing with on a daily basis.
No.
All right. Magic Johnson came out and said something about the black men. All
Yeah.
right.
Yes, he
How
did.
dare he even fix his mouth to say that when he couldn't even raise his own black son to be a man? All right. So
Shots
why? So why are we
fired.
even giving Magic Johnson the
The
time
time of
of
day.
day?
Mm-hmm.
The time of day. Why?
Yep.
Black men should be highly offended by Magic Johnson's comment. Society is not expecting black people from the hood to have any type of be eloquent or be articulate
Or
or
critical
be
thinking
educated.
skills.
All right, they're looking for us to be ghetto and trash. All
Yep.
right, and emotional. They're not looking at us to come at them with boldness and
Nope.
courage and tell them, wait a minute, Negroes, pump your brakes. Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? You know,
Oh yeah.
we're the ones who are burdening, have all this, the world, the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Nope.
Those of us who have a little bit of education, those of us who make a couple of dollars, all right, those of us who manage to get our kids out of the hood, and it's only because we get up every day and we show up and we go to work and we do what's necessary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not all of
Mm-hmm.
us fall victim to a system. Not
Mm-mm.
all of us fall victim to the rhetoric and what the gatekeepers are trying to feed us.
That's it.
Al Sharpton
Oh.
dancing like an anorexic monkey, okay? Dancing around with symbolism, showing the world that that's
Yep.
all the Negroes know how to do is
Just
dance.
dance and yeah, just dance and sing. They'll be fine.
Dance. Give them a basketball, let them bounce the ball,
Yep.
give them a hula hoop, okay, and dance.
Or
And
twerk.
they'll vote for you. They'll be loyal to you forever.
Or twerk.
Give them some stale bread, a bag of potatoes, right? Give them a chicken, okay? And they'll be loyal to you forever.
Oh my.
And for the most part, that works for a certain percentage. The underbelly of the underbelly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right? It works for them because that's all they want. That's all they want to do. Now, those
Right.
are the people that they can convince with, you should be ashamed of yourself. However, those are the people that don't vote. Okay, so
Right.
they're pandering. They're pandering just to be pandering,
Wow.
because most of us have a mindset that, wait a minute, we're better than this. We deserve better than this. Our children
Right.
have gone to the military.
That's
You know,
right.
our husbands, our wives, our sons, our daughters have
Yep.
sacrificed for this country.
That's right.
Why are you telling us that we need to be ashamed?
Yeah.
We were taught to be proud to be an American,
That's right.
no matter who we voted for. But we were also taught that the Republican was racist.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Right?
That's what they've been telling Black Americans for years.
60
plus.
years.
That's right. That's right.
They have us marching around the bottom of the mountain, waiting to see the mountaintop. The only people who see the mountaintop is Jesse Jackson,
The Black
Al
Shields.
Sharpton. Those are the only ones that managed to make it up to the mountaintop to see what's up there.
They got that right.
The rest of us just are waiting at the foot of the mountain, marching around,
Trying to get some crumbs.
yeah, and singing "We Shall Overcome," instead of getting up every day, showing up.
That's it.
Getting up every day and showing up.
Not making excuses. We've been told we can't make it. White supremacy, racism is the cause of all our problems.
No.
That's why you can't fix anything, because you keep believing that lie.
Yep.
And if you, like you said, if you're getting up every day and you're trying to make a concerted effort, you can make it in this country. We see too many people who come here from other countries and make it. And so they need to stop with that. Prosperity said, hey, y'all, get the likes to match the attention. Yeah, we have like 100 people in here and only 55 likes.
Wow.
Hit that like button, folks. Pinky, all the people that should have been ignored 30 years ago. Oh my God, Pinky has been here for a while. She said she's been warning people for years. And Alley Cat said she is a native actual New Yorker. They love your accent. Yeah, she's the real deal. And New Yorkers, they tell it like it has to be told.
Yeah.
Dorian said, even Malcolm said that the liberal is more hypocritical than the conservative. Malcolm X warned people in 1965.
She sure did.
And if you listen to that speech is right here on YouTube. You listen to it. It sounds like he made it yesterday. And so I had something else to read to you, Pinky. And still voting with emotion. No, so showing up is not going to change anything. Right. Pena. Thank you, Roland, for bringing people that are real to speak. Yes, I told you she keeps it real and she keeps it 100. Exactly. Alley Cat said, love you, Miss Brame. Florida said, I love this beautiful lady. Yes. So I told you, they love the real deal.
Yeah.
And so Prosperity said facts, but not falling for it. Alley Cat said, thank you, Miss Brame. I'm the first mixed race executive DA in my county. Oh, wow.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That's good. Thank you, Tijuana Border Jumper. All of you who have various forms of social media, True Social, Facebook, share this stream so that we can bring some more people into the conversation. Chubb says, love Miss Madeline. She's opening the eyes of people being blinded by our government. Yes, Chubbs, and the Democratic shields that everyone that she mentioned. If you've been here for a while, I've talked about Al Sharpton. I've talked about the Congressional Black Caucus. I've talked about the NAACP. These people are paid puppets. We've talked about that. They're not there to do anything for you. They're there to continue to live their lifestyle and to collect their checks while we, as Miss Brame told us, we're down at the bottom of the mountain singing "We Shall Overcome." They're still getting their checks. Yeah. No, ma'am, no, sir. How you doing, Rude Tube? Force to vote, hold your vote. Okay. Madison, Harry Belafonte said Martin Luther King Jr. said the same thing about the Democratic Party. Yeah, I think Dr. King, before he was unalived, he started to see some things. He really like Malcolm X. They both, had an awakening before they were unalived. Dale, Tex-Mex down here, cowboy culture, mostly small towns. We all get along because we're all Americans, and that's what I said. Miss Brame, I've been telling my subscribers, I said, look, the Democratic Party has been dividing us. I said, we don't have the luxury of saying black people over here, Hispanic people
Mm,
over here, Asian. We have to come together because we have a common enemy. We're at
yeah,
war. And if we come together, there's nothing we can't do. And
facts.
so I wanted to know uh, what you think about. I did a video yesterday. I think you've already sort of mentioned the money and FEMA, but what are your thoughts on what the Democrats are trying to do now? I've said that they have a whole new voting base, but like you said, they haven't done their research.
No.
For the most part, they're conservative, so they'll take your money, but that I don't know if they're going to be voting for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, how do you think? And now you're there on the ground, boots on the ground. Do you feel that, particularly with this migrant crisis, that's going to be enough to tip the scales so that they can flip New York? What are your thoughts? Because we're
What
talking.
the problem with the migrant crisis?
Yeah,
You
well,
know
I
what
is
I
that going to
see.
be enough? Yeah.
Well, no, it's not going to be enough. All right, it's not going to be enough, right? Because New Yorkers, just like Chicago, St.
Uh,
Louis, and all the other big cities, all right, we're hardcore. All right,
okay.
we adapt,
Right.
we adjust, and we keep it moving because we know you said a key word. We don't have the luxury, all right, to
Mm-mm,
sit back,
mm-mm.
roll over and play dead. All right.
Right.
So
Right.
we have to continue to survive. So we will, in our minds, become conditioned to things because we accept it as being our reality. And a
Uh-huh.
lot of us don't feel that we have any control over changing this or fixing it. Right.
That's right.
People are so um, frustrated. They have become numb and immune to
Yeah.
what we see happening. We'll complain about it,
Oh
but
wow.
don't know how to do anything to change it. As far as the voting piece is concerned, I
Right.
know with my work that I do in the communities, we do voter registration, okay? And a lot of people are not even registered to vote,
Oh
right? And
wow.
that's a huge problem in our community, all right? If people are registered to vote, they're not aware that they don't want to vote for Democrat no more, but they're not aware that they can actually change party affiliation on the voter registration form by going to question number 14, party affiliation, and changing their party affiliation. All right. Like
Right.
I started from the beginning, or maybe it was off camera when we were talking. A lot
Right.
of people are still in the closet, like gays were once in the closet.
Oh
All right.
yeah.
They don't want to come out and let people know that they're conservative or they want to vote Republican.
Right.
So once they get to the voter booth, all right, and it's just them, that booth, that piece of paper, and God, all right, then they will cast their vote. Now, if you remember in 2020, a large percentage of African Americans or minorities that weren't expected to vote Republican voted Republican. This is why there was so much, controversy
Mhm.
over the possibility of the election being stolen because more people came out and voted Republican than they ever had in 60 years. Okay,
Whoa.
so I believe that number that came out in 2020 is
Right.
now multiplied. Multiply that by 10, right? Because a lot of people,
They're not saying anything, and that's what I've said. Hmm.
they're not saying anything about it. They're not saying anything because there's not enough boots on the ground to go in there and talk to these people. Right, my organization is just one. I'm just one person, maybe 5 people. Right, we do the little voter registration, and we might get 5 people registered. We
Right.
might hand out, 2 or 3 voter registration forms. But a lot of people really are just completely disengaged in that whole entire process,
Oh
the
wow.
civic process, period. And that is therein lies a big part of the problem. It's our thinking, our attitude, our behavior in our communities. All
Hmm.
right. We don't think that our vote matters. All right. And they don't care. They're not paying attention. They're trying to survive, and doing whatever they do on a daily basis. Which is sad. We've been beat down in the ground so damn long, okay,
Yeah.
that we can't even get up and fight. We can't even get up and fight back.
Yeah, don't just roll over. You have
But
to
we want to
fight.
talk about Black Power. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about, excuse me,
Right.
about that, you know? But yet, you go outside and our sons are killing one another, right? But they want to blame that on the police.
Right.
I'm not saying they're all police, okay? Are squeaked clean.
Right.
But 99% of them don't get up in the morning and say, let me go kill a Negro today. They don't
That's
say
right.
that. All
You
right?
better say it. Because
They're
what
not saying that.
they're
You
not.
know,
And that's what I've said. They're not.
our
Now they're afraid
children,
to do anything. The police are
our
afraid to
children
do
are killing each other. Our children are killing each other at a disproportionate rate.
Yep.
You know, and nobody wants to talk about that black on black crime piece.
No. Nope.
Nobody wants to talk about my son was killed by 4 other black people. All right. My son wasn't shot to death. He was stabbed to death. Right. My son, Afghanistan war, retired veteran, received and returned enemy fire on the Taliban. A hero, valiant on the battlefield. Okay. Came home to Harlem and was jumped, gang assaulted, and stabbed to death by 4 people he did not know, nor had he done them any harm. Okay? Then you want to talk about soft on crime prosecutors.
Talk about it.
Prosecutor Alvin Bragg here in New York had the audacity. When he came into office, he was handed a strong trial-ready murder case against all 4 of those individuals. First-degree gang assault, second-degree murder, on video. No question, no excuse. No question and identity of what these people did. There was never any plea bargains. There was never any deals. There was never any bail. For 3 years, he came into office. He received that case and it immediately fell apart. He completely dismissed murder and gang assault indictments against 2 of the people.
That's not right.
That participated in the murder of my son. Charge 1 with assault with a shoe. Assault with a shoe is not even a crime. How embarrassing, how disrespectful, how dishonorable is that to my son? I watched that video over 100 times, and I never saw that person assault my son with a shoe. Never saw it. I saw that person do a whole lot of other things like kick, punch, stomp, chase, hold while he was being stabbed. I never saw another person attempt to assault my son. I saw that person actually engaging with 3 other people in the assault and the murder of my son, and then turn around and engage in the assault and attempted murder of my son's father. But this is the type of soft on crime prosecutor that we're dealing with, prosecutors that we're dealing with here in New York, across the board, in every borough. In every borough. This is why the crime is out of control with these migrants, these illegals that are committing all kinds of crimes, making the crime rates go up. All right, they're getting the slaps on the wrist. They're not even making it to the prosecutor's office.
No.
They're being released from the precincts. All right, or they're using the hospital emergency rooms as holding cells. Okay, so they're not even being held in the precinct or in a jail cell. They never even see the inside of a jail cell. They're cuffed to a hospital bed and getting medical treatment, right? Then they have the anti-violence and the different nonprofits that are now stationed inside the hospitals, all right? And they're like ambulance chasers. When the police bring somebody in and they got them cuffed to the bed, the social workers will run up to the emergency room and get their information, an intake form, and then give them a referral, okay?
Wow.
To go here, to go there, once they're released. And they never show up. This is why.
That's right.
The number of warrants are astronomical. That when a person finally does something bad enough for the judge to hold them,
right?
They already have 7 or 8 open cases already, warrants, because they've been arrested and released 7 or 8 times before they're actually held accountable for their actions. Now, this is just within the past 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So we're seeing this rise in crime. We're seeing this, soft on crime and all this other stuff going on just within 3 or 4 years. I
Oh,
think the
wow.
end result was because they felt that minorities were being disproportionately targeted, all right, by the criminal justice system, right? We had the Black Lives Matter riots, the George Floyd,
Yeah.
situation. George
Yep.
Floyd was a crackhead and a meth head, all right, and a,
Thank
and a
you.
heroin addict.
Yep.
20 something prior arrests. All right. And it's like Judge George Floyd was a criminal, right? He was no hero, and no black person should want their son to aspire to be like George Floyd. All right.
Thank you
But
for
they
saying
they
that.
they made him into some type of hero. All right.
They
That
did.
our
They did.
children are supposed to follow behind and be like, and they are falling for it.
They
All the
are.
resisting of arrest, all right, all the disrespect of our police officers, right?
Yep.
Because they think if you don't touch me, don't touch me. You see it all over
Uh-huh.
social media.
You do. I see it. I see it.
So it's like we are stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I don't think the initial intention was for it to get out of control like this, but
Mhm.
the people who did it did not study, all right? Didn't you got DEI
Sure.
students at Harvard and Yale, all right, at an NYU that are
Yep.
writing these papers and putting these proposals through legislation to make them laws, all right,
Yep.
without them knowing nothing
Mm-mm.
about the demographic of people
Mm-mm.
that they're supposed to be helping,
They look at
or the
statistics.
demographic of people that is going to be hurting,
All
right?
they do is look at statistics and oh my God,
And that's
all
it.
these black people, they
And that's it.
must be racism and some now I deal with that in the school system. Since I've been teaching, I told you I've been an educator for 27 years in the state of North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started teaching 27 years ago, what did they say? Oh, the black males have the highest suspension rates. Well, news flash. No one is discriminating against black males. Those are the ones committing the infractions. What are we supposed to do? So
What are you
I'm
supposed
glad
to
you're
do?
saying this.
And that was their resolve.
Oh,
Just let them get away with it.
right,
Don't get to act like they're
right,
not doing it.
right.
Make them the victim. Make
They're
them
the
the
victim.
victim.
They're
And
the
the
victim.
actual victim is an annoyance.
It's
The actual victim is just fictitious, like they called my son,
yeah,
a
right,
fictitious character, and
right,
he's the one who's in the damn grave.
right.
You know?
And the ones who want to lie to him is because of white supremacy and racism. That right?
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
yes.
How did I know?
So
See?
how do you give somebody who took someone's life 20 years, all right, when in a lot of states, all right, outside of New York, all right, and Los Angeles and Chicago,
Right,
you take a life, you do life. All right. Some states
right,
they even have the death penalty. All right.
right.
New York, the maximum on homicide is 20 years.
Oh wow.
Career criminals can sleep 20 years away. They know how to do time. 20 years
Woo.
is nothing, and then they'll go see a board in 15.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So the maximum is 20 years. How do you take someone's life?
Oh.
They're gone forever, and your punishment is only 20 years in a romper room, because that's what jails are, romper room. You don't
Mm-hmm.
got, especially up here in New York, all the whining and crying and that these whatever you call these lobbyists. I'm
Oh,
talking about the cruel and unusual punishment.
right.
Rikers Island is romper room. They cater to these inmates, and then when they go upstate in those state of the art new facilities,
Oh yeah.
spotless clean. You can eat off the damn floors. Now there are some facilities, the oldest ones, like Sing Sing and Dannemora and
Right.
Elmira and Greenhaven and all that. Those are the supermaxes.
Uh-oh.
That's where the homicidal maniacs go. They
Oh,
belong there. They
ooh.
belong there. They belong there. You know.
Right.
So I have a lot of opinions on things. I have a lot of opinions on things, especially after the murder of my son. All right, and the way that his legacy, his memory was treated by the criminal court system the way I was treated, the way my grandchildren were just, like they didn't even exist. I'm highly offended by it. I'm frustrated by it, and it just put me in fight mode. I've been in fight mode for 7 years. All right. I started out standing out in front of the court, in front of the
Right.
courthouse every court date with a bullhorn and a sign by
Oh,
myself.
oh
You
wow.
know, bullhorn and a sign. You can see it all over. It's a lot.
Right.
That's when people didn't take me serious. They thought I was crazy. They thought I
Oh
was just
wow.
grieving. I was just a grieving mother. All
Right.
right, until they saw other people starting to show up outside the courthouse. Then Fox News, you know, um, started covering the story. And then the New York Post started covering the story and wanted to see what was going on inside the courtrooms,
Oh
and they started publicizing this stuff, and the Democrats that are running New York City, I've been to all of them crying, please help me, get justice. Please help me to understand why, this is happening with the system. When my son was a victim. He's murdered. Why are these killers being treated with more respect and more honor than my son? Why are they getting away with murder? And
yeah.
all of them, they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. You know why? Because the story, number one, didn't fit their narrative. And number two is because they championed and they signed off on and they voted for the laws that made it possible. All right. So
Yes.
I was speaking out against the laws that made it possible. So
Oh yeah.
it was the Republicans. It was the Republicans that took me serious, and they're the ones who gave me a platform. All right.
Oh wow.
Yes, Rudy Giuliani, Andrew Giuliani, different really, really high powered big names from the Republican Party, caught hold because my son was a veteran. All right. And these people are
Wow.
patriots. All right. These people are very patriotic. And
Right.
they saw me out there a lot by myself. All right. And
Wow.
then the Trump prosecutions came. All right.
Oh,
They told me the reason why they couldn't take all four people who killed my son to trial is because Manhattan did not have the resources, the money to try all four
oh,
people. But
wow.
at the same time, they were spending $250 million to go after Trump. Right. And
That's
this is Alvin Bragg that I'm talking about.
Alvin
So, yeah, this made me even more furious. And this made the public even more furious. All
Right.
right. And so that's when the story really started to gain legs and it really started to take off. And, I testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, all that. So, and then the rest is history. A lot of it can be found on YouTube. Um,
Right.
a lot of different interviews and different
Right.
things like that. I haven't had a good cry since my son was murdered until the other day because I currently have another son that is active duty. He's 82nd Airborne. He's stationed in Fort Liberty, formerly used to be Fort Bragg. They
I
changed
live
the
five
name.
minutes from Fort Liberty.
Yeah. Well, my son is stationed there. He's 82nd Airborne.
Yes.
So, got word the other day that somebody, they may be deployed somewhere,
Oh
where, it's active. It's active, and that is when, all the emotion just came out. I was at work, and I cried and screamed and all that because I'm only thing I could think of is my son is being sent somewhere where he's going to be in danger that he could possibly be killed. All right. I already
right.
had the one son who survived Afghanistan, came home and got killed. I have another son who died from the fentanyl overdose 3 years ago. Right. So
Oh
I have
no.
two sons. I have two sons. Yeah, two sons in 5 years that are not here anymore. You know,
Oh no.
Ray Vaughn was 26 and he got a hold of a bad batch of cocaine. And it was laced with fentanyl. And
Fentanyl.
his wife found him dead. His wife found him dead when she went to wake him up from work for work, and the autopsy showed that he had, the poison in the system. All
Oh
right, so
wow.
yeah, yeah. So
You've been through a lot. You
I
really
have.
have.
I have.
And
So, I was just able to have a really good cry the other day.
right.
When I thought that my baby, my little one was going to be in some type of danger,
Right.
being sent somewhere where,
Did,
and
Did you
But
tell him that you were interviewing with someone who lives like 5 minutes? I'm right
I'm
here
going to tell him
in
now.
Fort Bragg, and Pope. I live on Highway 87, so I'm
Okay, I'm
5 minutes
going to tell him
from Bragg,
now.
5 minutes from Pope Airport. So the big bombers, the big planes fly over my
Yeah.
house, so I have to
Oh
listen.
God. Woo. Oh my goodness.
Most of my and since I want to thank you for your family service, and most of my students parents are in the military, so
Military.
most of
Yeah, yeah,
my students are military connected, so
yeah.
um that's very important. So another question for you:
Hmm.
what can we do? um so you I know you said a lot of people are just like meh. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to sign up to vote. Prosperity says salute to you and your family
Thank
for
you.
their service to this country. And so, are there any suggestions that you have? And I'm going to pull your website up, your Rescue Angel,
Yes.
uh, uh, because you've done a lot of work. Sometimes out of people's pain, that's how they're able to make it. And then something
Hmm.
good comes from it, uh,
Hmm.
if you will. And so, what would you suggest people do to try? And like you said, we talked before we came on, indoctrination is real, brainwashing is real. And I say the Democratic Party is a cult. Vote
Mm.
blue no matter who. Now, my mantra is don't vote blue no matter who.
Yeah.
What can we do to change that mindset? Any suggestions?
I would suggest that your listeners, my listeners, your followers, my followers, all right, whoever we talk to, family, friends, or whatever,
Right.
I think as a people, right, human nature,
Human nature.
we want to do good. We want
We do.
good for ourselves, our family, our country, right? We have to figure out a way to draw some type of contrast between the two, okay? The two options that we have. Now, 12 out of the past 16 years was ran by one demographic, one party, all right? The other side was only in power for 4 years out of the past 16 years, right?
Right.
We have to be honest with ourselves when we ask the question to people that we know, were you doing better in those 4 years
There you go.
than you are in the past 12 years?
There you go.
And it's real simple. When you talk, when you can connect with people on a basic level, which is the pocketbook, the
Yeah,
money, all
that's
right?
it.
When you can connect with people on that level, all right, and just leave it there. Forget all the politics, forget all the rhetoric, forget all the political shenanigans, all right? Just stick with the facts and no spin, all right?
Just facts.
Just facts. Were you doing better financially in those 4 years from 2016 to 2020 than you have in the past 12 years?
Yep.
And if people want to be honest, they will tell you yes, right?
That's right.
So, what makes anybody think that the person who made it better for you in 4 years, in those 4 years, if he were to come back, he wouldn't do the same thing that he did those 4 years ago,
Mm,
in those 4 years? And even better now because he's smarter now. He understands the
even more.
circumstances and the situation now.
That's right.
All right? The same, we're dealing with a person who is not a politician. He's a businessman, all
That's
right?
right.
And he knows about how to get money. Now he partnered with Elon Musk, all right? Two money men who know how to get billions
That's
and
right.
that are patriots that love the country,
Right.
right? What makes you think that they don't know how to get us some money, all right? Not $750
Ooh,
to swim our way out of something, all right?
wow.
I'm talking about bringing back the auto industry, all right?
Right.
All those jobs that were outsourced. I was in Milwaukee
Mm,
a month ago, and they gave us a tour where all the big auto industry were. All those factories are closed down.
Oh,
Tumbleweeds rolling through there. All right. So many people lost their job. All right. He's talking about bringing that back. Right. He's talking about putting the tariffs back in place.
we
Make America strong, make America strict, safe. Roll back all the dangerous policies that have made our country unsafe for regular people to even walk down the street.
that's
Right?
right.
Send those illegals back, especially the ones that keep getting in trouble and have no business being here. Just send them back. Period. We don't even need to make no excuse for that. Just send them
Mhm.
back. All right. If he did it before, what makes anybody think that he won't do it again? He don't have nothing to gain or lose for this. He's rich today.
Be
He was
rich
rich
tomorrow.
yesterday, and he's gonna be rich tomorrow.
Facts.
He don't have nothing to gain. He's the only president
Nothing.
I know who
That's
came
right.
out being worth less than he did when he came in.
Yeah, they're trying to bankrupt him. They're trying hard. Um,
And evidently, God has his hand on him for a
I've
reason.
said that. Providential hand of God saved him. I've said that several times.
Divine intervention.
Yes,
Because there's many times that he should not be here anymore.
you got that. They've
And
been
we
trying
saw it.
to.
God let us see it.
Yeah, we saw
God
it.
let us see how strong and how miraculous he really is. Not the man,
Yep,
but God.
that's right.
And so these are the things that we need to tell and talk to our neighbors and our family about. They're not going to want to hear it because they're going to want to bring up the bunch of rhetoric and
That's right.
political stuff that they've been hearing, right? And they're not ready to get honest, get down and dirty, get honest about what it
What's going?
really
Yeah.
is,
Oh,
okay?
yes. And you're right. You're absolutely
But you
right.
know what? God gives people the ability to plant seed, another one waters, and God gives the increase. All right. The only thing that we are responsible for is planting that seed. Plant the seed, and just pray and ask God to send somebody to water it
Right.
and to give the increase.
Right.
That's all we can do. I know who I'm voting for. There's certain members of my family who don't even speak to me anymore because of who I support.
So
They
sad.
say, "Oh no, we support you. We just don't support who you're using your voice for." I said,
Oh,
"What difference does it make? What difference does it make? The other ones didn't give me a voice. They didn't give me a platform. These
Miss
people are giving me a
Miss
platform."
Brom, I'm glad you said that because I've said several times, and everyone here is agreeing with you. I said this lady saying nothing but the truth. And so this is what I tell people. To me, relationships are more important. So if I have a family member, friend, coworker, oh, I'm voting for Kamala. That's good for you. I'm not, but
Yeah,
I'm not going to lose my relationship with you because of who you're voting for. When it's all said and done, relationships are more important than who's running for president
sure,
of America. And our relationship should come first. So I may not agree with who you choose to vote for, but again, that's you. She's not getting my vote, but that's your God given American right to
that's
vote
right,
for her if you choose to.
right.
So I don't understand why people, they stop speaking to you and unfriend you and stop to me it's not that serious. So if you
It's
know that,
sure not at the end of the day. It's not. It's not
right,
that serious at the end of the day. But the media and social media, all right, has created this environment,
they
all
have,
right, that is so volatile
it
and
is,
hostile,
it is
so divisive, one side against the other.
very
Whatever
divisive.
happened to working in the middle? Trump worked in the middle with people.
He did.
He worked with people who wanted to work with him. If you didn't want to work with him, then that means that, hey, you're useless because you're just going to be a problem. All
That's
right.
right.
And he reached across the aisle and
He
worked
did.
with both
He
sides
did. He did.
because we all have something positive and brilliant
That we can
to add.
contribute. Hmm.
We all have something.
We sure do.
So we need a leader who's going to take the reins and lead, right? We don't need some drunk high woman, all right, who is out of control.
Oh my God.
She's out of control because she's got to be under the influence of some type of substance.
Something, because her behavior is totally erratic. And Miss Brom, I'm glad you said that. You see how she does. She doesn't want to answer a question. Next
Because she
question.
can't.
You see how she did at the National Association of Black Journalists. She didn't like her. Somebody asked a question. She didn't like it, and then at the end, she shook their hand and she looked at the crowd, threw her hand like that, didn't even look, and walked on.
You know why? Because she said to herself, I need a damn drink. That's what she said. And she went back there and got her a drink. They had her wine. They had her glass of wine waiting for her
Oh
when she
my
got
God.
back there. And they looked, them young people looked at each other and shook their head. They were like, oh my God. And even at Oprah, she did the same thing.
You know,
That's
did you?
because she has some type of substance abuse problem, and I'm sure that her campaign is having a hard time keeping her sober. All right, that's
Yeah,
why that's why she's not doing many public appearances. All right, and now you notice even at the hurricane the hurricane thing, now she's reading from a paper. All right, they giving her actually just go out there and read this. Okay, can you manage to do this, please? All right. And then the other day she read from the teleprompter, and the
oh my God.
teleprompter blinked out on her, and she was just standing there not knowing what to say.
She was just like a
Yeah,
deer
she
in the
didn't know what to
headlights.
say. She said the same thing over 4 times until the teleprompter came back up. It was a
Yep.
glitch. So it's like, do we want a person like that
No, we don't.
leading us right over the doggone cliff?
I said, Miss Brum, I've said this. This country will be done over. This is the most important election of the
It is.
21st century.
It is.
And
It is. I believe that.
if we don't get those Democrats out of there, you can kiss this country goodbye. It is over.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said, Pinky Wells said she's drinking vodka or gin.
Gin and juice.
Gin and juice.
Gin and juice. Listening to Snoop Dogg. Drinking gin and juice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I've heard that, and they, I've watched some other YouTubers, and they were saying something about that as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, but she did have a little malfunction when the teleprompter went out, and she was like,
She didn't know what to say.
"What do I say? What do I do?"
Mhm.
Um, and what else can you tell us about your organization? I was going to pull that up.
Okay.
Share that.
Well, Rescue Angel was founded after my son Sergeant Hassan was murdered. What we do is I found myself in a situation where I had no support. Right, I had no support, and the system, or not the system, the uh the Manhattan the court system didn't provide any support
Right.
or guidance. So I
Okay.
found myself having to figure out how to navigate. All right, through the system, right questions to ask, from the detective piece to the
Right.
investigation piece to the all the different steps that happens during a case. All right,
Right.
and
Right.
I found that I needed support, even if it was
Right.
just someone to sit there with me.
Right.
And I went through several years without support. Right,
Right.
that's my son, Sergeant Hassan. That's actually him in Afghanistan, carrying the Humvee ran out of gas.
Oh
So
wow.
because he was the sergeant, he had to go and walk and get gas. All
Oh
right,
wow.
that's the story behind that picture. That is the most famous picture of him. But I formed Rescue Angel because I know that if I was going through this, I knew that hundreds and thousands of other mothers were going through the same thing. So what we do is we provide court buddies, assistance on how to navigate through the court system. The
Right.
court buddy piece is where if we have someone available, and if they're in the vicinity, we can send someone to go and just sit with that mother through the court through the day. Will
Right.
she have just some type of support, and also navigation through the court system, also to begin to
Let's see.
draft up legislation that will strengthen and protect the rights for victims of violent crime, not
Okay.
just gun violence, right? Because like I said before, I shared my son was stabbed to death and not shot to death, right? And there are no provisions available for a stabbing death, right? They're all for gun violence.
Oh
Right,
wow.
that's where the money has been allocated, and that's where these different organizations and agencies, they provide support for gun violence,
Right.
survivors.
Right.
Nothing for knives. So we're gonna, draw up some legislation, hopefully in my son's name, that will piece together things that I've experienced and I know that can strengthen and protect the rights based on my own experience. There are many clips on that. There's the bullhorn in the sign. If
Oh
if
yeah,
you
I see it.
if you scroll down a little bit, that's why I started. In front of the court building. That's the court building in the background. And that's why I
I
started.
see it.
People thought I was crazy. Yeah, people thought I was crazy, and I had no support. It was just me, and that's me and Hassan when he was about 15 years old. Then I started with Blexit, New York. I don't know how many people are familiar with
Oh
Blexit, but I started with that, and but this is about Rescue Angel. This is about Rescue Angel and getting support from, you know, um, being a voice for the voiceless across America.
right.
With the different events that I put on in the communities. I do several events every year, through school supply giveaway, turkey giveaway, toy drive.
That
We
here.
do voter registration. We do a whole bunch of things in different parts of
Okay.
New York City and Long Island. All right. So if you want to go to my website, that's it's there. There is and support the cause. You can hit that donate button. It is through PayPal. The donation, you can sign up, to get newsletters. You can sign up and send me a message directly. If you need to speak to me about something, if you need some type of, you are a mother or family member of a crime victim or a homicide victim,
Right.
you can talk to me, and I'll see what I can do to assist you. A lot of times there's nothing I can do, just to know that someone is there listening. There are links there that you can go and click on those links, and it will lead you to the victims' rights,
Right.
of crime victims' rights services in your state. All right. And so those are the state resources that are available, which is not a lot. If it's a homicide case, they only, give you a certain amount of money to do a
Right.
funeral, do a funeral. All right. Luckily, my son, well, not luckily, but my son was a veteran. So he had a military funeral. So he
Oh
had all the bells and whistles. So, we didn't have to deal with a lot of that. The VA dealt with a lot of it, but
right.
there are a lot of families that don't have that,
Yeah. Exactly.
don't have that. So, there's links on there that can link you to organizations, or I can help you do some research. If you need me, go to my website, all right? Put your
Yeah.
contact information there, send me a message, and I will get back to you. I will get back to you. But please don't forget to donate, because for 7 years I've been doing this on a volunteer basis, all right?
Right.
And I have not received any money for this. I don't do it for money, but now I cannot continue to do the volunteer stuff because I'm starting to travel and go to different places, and
Okay.
you need money to do that. You need
Oh yeah.
money to do that. Yeah.
And you do.
So,
And I love this statement you have here. The
uh-huh.
Democratic Party that poor minorities have been loyal to for decades, and we discussed this 60 plus years.
Yeah.
They betrayed us. They stabbed us in the back. So guess what?
Yep.
Newsflash: stop voting for them.
Yeah.
um,
Exactly. And you can view all the clips, all the
yeah.
media clips that I've been on. There's much, much more than that, but that's all that would fit on the
Okay.
website. There's a lot of them. There's a lot, so
And
people can see that this is authentic. This is
right,
not, some, rinky dink, somebody that's just being, what they call them, grifters. They call
grifters.
them
Yeah.
grifters.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
teach people, not trying to, make a profit off of my son's death or nothing
Right.
like that, because I have made no profit. It's not
Yeah.
about making a profit. It's
Yeah.
about getting people to start thinking freely for themselves.
Use some
All
critical
right.
thinking skills. And what
That's
I
right.
did, for anyone that would like to use go on her website, I did share your website. It's in the description box up under this video. So when this live is over, they can go on there and watch all your videos and read your mission statement. If I took it down too quick, Valerie said, has stock in the mining company, wanted to take North Carolina's land. Okay, I'm not. That's okay.
Yeah.
Gentile killer said this nation is going to Hades with gasoline draws on.
It's
Yeah,
true.
we don't get the Democrats out. Oh my God.
You know, that puts me in mind of the abortion. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
complete genocide of black babies in the womb
That's
through
all she talks
abortion.
about.
You know God is not pleased with that.
Mm-mm.
You know
And,
he's not. And
and that's
that's
all
all
she.
they're pushing.
And
More
that's
and
all
more
she.
and more abortion. Cardi B. Cardi B, she kept her babies. She didn't abort her babies, but
Mm-mm.
she's encouraging black women to abort theirs. So they're using all these superstars and rappers and all this other kind of stuff to push this garbage onto our community.
It is garbage.
It's garbage.
Mm-hmm. Just like Miss Braun, these idiots listen to LeBron James and all these celebrities when they were
Yeah.
talking about defund the police. I started, when I was talking to people about that, I said, look, let's be real. LeBron James is a millionaire, maybe
Yep.
even a billionaire. He doesn't use the police. He has private security.
Yep.
Why the heck would you listen to him? And when he's telling us, oh, defund the police, if something goes south, we have to rely on the police. I don't have a private security detail. So why, I don't know, why would people listen to celebrities? That is crazy. Go ahead, folks. Hit that like button for me. We need 7 more likes and we'll have 100. Right? Yeah, yeah.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button.
Hit it. Won't cost you one thin dime. And so I'm glad that, Margaret, Cha-Cha, I'm glad you brought that up, Miss Brom, because even if you go on her website, she's not talking about policy and all these people. Well, I'm going to vote for her because she's going to be the first black. Newsflash: where have you been living up under a rock? She's not black. Her father's
not black at
birth
all.
certificate doesn't say black. Her mother's birth certificate doesn't say black. What the heck are these people talking about? And even if I was interested in voting for her, once I watched that CNN video from 2-3 weeks ago, when they asked her about her being black, she said, next question. But you have millions of black Americans out here. Oh, we're voting for the first black.
She's black. She black. She won't. If she's black, she's sure not proud. She ain't black and proud because she didn't identify herself as.
And we know she's not. Look at her mother's birth certificate. Look at her father.
Listen,
Candace
Owens blew her up the other day. Candace dug because they came after Janet Jackson because Janet said she heard that she's not black. That's all Janet said, and she heard that she's not black. But then here come all these celebrities.
Yep.
D.L. Hughley and all them washed up comedians.
Washed up.
They're washed up. They're done. All right, they're done. They're not even funny anymore. All right, and they're broke. Okay, so they want to chime in and put their 2 cents. Coming after Janet Jackson because she made that statement, and Candace Owens said, "Wait a minute, hold on. Let's do the research and find out if she's black or not." And she went all the way back to Grandma. Grandma is a white woman, right? And the woman that she had standing up next to her in the picture died before she was even born.
Died in 1960. So somebody did some photoshopping using
and
some
put
Adobe
that picture
Photoshop.
Together.
Okay.
And the woman died. Her grandfather was an Irishman who owned over 1,000 slaves in Jamaica.
But she's black.
So many of these racist people, they own slaves. They're racist. You got proof right there that Kamala Harris's grandfather owned over 1,000 slaves.
Yep. But
so if you want to hate somebody, for slavery, hate her. Okay.
Hey, and you
since we're holding people accountable, in 2024 for slavery, then you go right there. You got a real live one right there.
I said, you know what I said, Miss Brom? When I've said it in several videos, I said, listen, if you want the values of the KKK, I said, vote for Kamala.
That's right.
I said, it's the same as you voting for the KKK. She's not going to do anything for any Americans. And then when she said that $750, she acted like she was giving them
And
$20,000.
she straightened up her back and she went off. She looked up off the paper to say that.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them $750.
God.
If I could have jumped through the TV, girl, you just don't know.
And
That
that's
I
what we're
think that
supposed to
that
vote
should have
for.
did it right there. That
That,
should have did it, but it's still not, because you still got people talking about how great she is. You know why? It's only because they hate Trump,
yeah.
right? And their hatred
They're
is
letting
going to
her,
be their demise.
it's going to be their demise. And you
Their
said,
hatred is going to be their demise.
because they're voting against their own best interest.
But
You're absolutely right.
there's not enough of them. There's more of us. There's more patriots. There's more common sense thinkers. There's
Yes,
more of us than them.
right.
You know, if they're gonna steal it, all right, they're gonna have to come up with something ingenious.
Facts.
Because you can believe
Facts.
Elon Musk, all right, and all the team that's surrounding them,
Right.
they have crawled under any rock, every rock, to make sure that they covered all the bases on the possibility of stealing that.
They're
That's
working
why
on
they're
it.
trying to assassinate him.
They've been trying. Mr.
Right?
John Joyner, I had him on my
The
show.
only way to not get him in there is to assassinate him.
But they're gonna
Right?
they're gonna pull out all the stops.
Well, they got 30 days left to do it. They got 30 days left to do it. That's all I can say.
Woo!
That's all I can say. Hopefully, God has his angels in this,
He does.
his hedge of protection around him, that he's not going to be harmed. And
I
the
believe
outcome
that.
of that election is going to be God's will. All right. And it
Right.
ain't going to be nothing that, no one was able to,
Right.
and even the 2020 election was God's will, because
Yeah.
that was God's way of putting some things into motion, right? And to get people to start thinking for themselves and open up their eyes and
Drop the blinders off their eyeballs.
yeah, and we can't afford to continue to go down the road that we're going, because our dollar, the
Right.
value of our dollar is depreciating, right?
Right.
And once that happens, we lose all type of standing in the world. America
Right.
will no longer be, the shining country on the hill, right? The shining light on the hill. We will be, second and third world country. Right now,
Almost there now.
we are sliding down. We're sliding down because our dollar, and that's what I said before about, you asked what advice, or what can I say to your listeners to talk to their people about? And it's
Right.
about money. It's about that dollar. It's about that money. All right. Because at the end of the day, it's all about money. All right. And it's something that we don't have. And we did have a short 4 years ago. We were doing so much better,
Facts.
so much
Facts.
better. And these people being in office are taking the country down a road that we don't want to go. We don't want to go there. We don't
Nope.
want to go there. And it's up to each and every one of us to take the responsibility for ourselves, our family, our country, and go out and do the right thing and vote for the person that that has already been tried and true.
That's right.
He's been tried and true. He did it once and he'll do it again.
He will. He will.
He'll do it again. And he'll do it much, much better, because he's smarter. He's 4 years wiser. 4 years wiser, So, yeah. Nobody's saying it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. However, we're just looking for better. We're looking for better.
Right. Improvement, right?
Yes. They talk about progress, right? But they're not talking about the progress that we're talking about.
And then they're not talking about progress for Americans.
That's right. We're talking about American progress, American greatness.
That's what I'm saying.
Put us back where we were. Why are you trying to destroy? Why are you trying to destroy us? Come on, man.
Ms. Brame, if you look at everything they represent, it's death and destruction. They
Exactly.
don't represent anything that is actually living or alive. Everything they represent. And if these people are like the people you were talking about earlier, if they can't wake up and see Skamala. Where are all those Margaret Sanger clinics?
Yep.
They're
Yep.
in poor Black communities,
Yep.
right? You
The
don't see
Planned
her.
Parenthoods.
You don't see her at the border with all these immigrants who are coming over. You don't see her in any other community in America. She's in one community. But she and go talk to all those Black men she put in jail wrongfully. Go talk to all those Black women. But now these people stuck on stupid. Oh, we're gonna vote for the first Black woman. Just
And
go
she
get
ain't
it
even
wrong.
Black. But
Right.
that speaks to their ignorance. They're ignorant. Okay? Them people are ignorant. Then we're gonna vote for the first Black woman and she ain't even Black.
Right.
Does that make that make sense?
A
Right? That makes
cosplaying
no
Black.
sense.
You're calling her Black. She's not saying she's Black. This
She
is
ain't
crazy.
even admitting she's Black. Now I've seen some real dark-skinned Indians, right, with the red dot.
Yeah.
Right? The women who thread my eyebrows.
Yep.
Right? And I asked them, I said, is Kamala Black or is she Indian?
Indian.
And they said she's Indian.
Yep.
I said, so why, people saying that she's Black? They said, we don't know. We're not vote for her. We're not vote for her. So we got business to run. We vote for Trump.
Oh, wow.
And that's what these Indian women, the red dots, are saying.
Oh, wow.
We're not voting for her. We got a business to run. We're voting for Trump.
They know they're not going to get anything with her. Only the illegals.
It's not. She don't even she's disowning them when it's convenient for her. All right. So this is a woman who is not. She's unstable. All right. She's wishy-washy. She's wishy-washy. She flips from one day to another. That's because of the substance abuse.
Right.
All right. One day she's feeling up, all stupid laughing, and the next day she's feeling down, looking all dumb in the camera. Right? Those must be the days where they're telling her that she can't, you got to go on there, you got to, be sober today.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I've been clean off of drug and alcohol for 15 years. All right?
Right.
It takes one to know one. I see it all in the woman's face. I see it in her eyes. I see it in the change, the fluctuations of every time you see her on center stage. I know when she's drunk. I know when she's high. It takes one to know one.
Oh, wow. Woo!
And this is what's coming out now because there's a whole bunch of people in recovery. Whole bunch, millions across the country.
Yeah.
All right. To know that something is wrong with this woman, couldn't put their finger on it until they started to really look at her. And they said, this woman is drunk. This woman is high. Listen to the slur in her voice. Listen to the way she's holding her head. And the way she, the drool. Or the, what do you call that? The scowl.
The scowl on her face.
The way she moving her hands, over exaggerating and all that. That's cocaine. That's coke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it came out the other day. I don't know how true it is, but it was on X that the cocaine that they were blaming on Hunter that was found in the White House really belonged to her.
I saw that today on X. I saw that.
You see, so it's starting to gain legs.
Yeah,
because
I saw
it's making
that.
sense. They're putting two and two together.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's on. I saw that video on X today about that.
Yeah.
When they found that cocaine, everybody was like, "Nope, not mine."
Yep, they said it was Hunter's, but it was really hers. That's what they're saying, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
It explains a lot, huh?
Why do we want somebody who even has that type of speculation? Trump never even took a drink in his whole entire life.
Right.
He said that. He never did drugs. He never drank. He never smoked cigarettes his whole life. He said, for what? He said, I wouldn't be a billionaire if I did those things.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. He said his crutch was women, is what he said.
Right.
He's a man. His crutch is supposed to be women.
Yeah, well, facts.
He's a man.
Chicago Hood says, Amy, we'll pray for you to be delivered from your delusion and brainwashing. So I guess the statements are coming. I guess I missed it. Melissa said, say that lady truth. Okay. Y'all, Asia said, y'all hardcore in here. The old bag is laughing. James said that Trump's brother died. That's the reason. Yeah, you want to have something like that traumatic happen. You're like, okay, I don't want no drugs. I know people like that too.
That's right. Whatever the reason, he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So like I said, I'm sure I've missed a lot
I
of.
know people are talking junk in there. There's a lot of people that don't like what we stand for and what we're talking about. But you see, we're old school. We're baby boomers. All right. We came up in a time where life is good. Right. We had good, clean fun. We didn't have all this nonsense to have to worry about. All right. It was
Right.
hard. It was hard, but it was fair.
It was fair.
We were raised to know that if you want to eat, you work. Okay.
You
You
told me that
believe
earlier. Your
in
mother said
God,
that.
you believe in God, you believe in country, and you believe in family.
That's
Those
in the
are the values that we were raised with. Okay. And they worked. America was strong.
yes, it was.
America,
Not
we were proud to be an American. And it
nope.
wasn't all this racism crap
No.
that they're talking about now.
No.
All right. We all lived together. We all were taught that nobody's better than you and you're no better than nobody.
Right. That's right.
It's this ghetto trash. And I'm
Yes.
saying it straight to your face.
That's
Right?
it.
It's this ghetto trash that's spreading this nonsense.
Yep.
This rap music, this
Yep.
music industry,
That's right.
planting all these seeds,
That's
social
right.
media.
That's
These
right.
kids out here ganging up and fighting. These little young girls. That's garbage. That's trash. Why are we teaching our kids that?
I see that at
Why are
school.
we glamorizing it?
I see it at the school.
Why are we making it seem like it's a big thing? You know why? Because
Yep.
it's a little 3 seconds of fame on social media.
That's
That's
right.
why.
That's
Because
why.
that's all they do is film it.
That's it. You
Then
get
you got
hey.
grown folks. Then you got grown folks sharing those videos, instigating it, talking about, oh, she ate. She ate. Ate what? What did she eat? Does her mother have any food at home for her to eat? So is that why she's fighting? Because she's hungry?
Right.
You know? So these
Right.
are the things that annoy me and piss me off. Then we
Oh
got, rappers. All this P. Diddy nonsense.
yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If the man is guilty, go ahead and nail him to the goddamn wall. Excuse my language. Nail him to the wall and take down everybody else with him.
They said a lot of people going down with them too.
Stop playing with this. The times are too serious. If he's out there raping little boys, all right,
Yeah.
forcing, child sex slavery and all this other kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
If he was doing that stuff, throw him under the jail. Throw him in one of them dungeons that he had underneath his house.
Right.
Okay, do that. Him and whoever else is doing it with him.
Whoever else was involved. I see what
If he was raping Justin Bieber, all right, he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
That's right. You're right.
Stop playing these games.
That's right.
Stuff is too serious. Stop trying to distract people. Stop trying to distract people
what
from
it
what's
is.
really going on. Right?
That's all it
They
is.
just dropped. Iran just dropped 250. What's it? How many? A whole bunch of bombs on Israel
Sure
the other
did.
day.
That's what we better be watching.
We need to be watching that. Another war popping off. We
That's
just
it.
got out of a 20-year war in the Middle East. Why?
That's right.
Why do we need to be sucked into another one? Where do we get the money from to fight? When you're saying that you only got $750 a piece to send them people down south that are drowning.
You better say it. Say it.
Zelensky, you're giving him billions and billions of dollars.
But only $750 for Americans. Make it make sense.
Is he being blackmailed? Has he been blackmailing the Biden administration?
Yep, probably.
Putin.
Yep.
Trump said that him and Putin is cool. And he said, I'm cool with Zelensky too.
Yep.
None of this stuff would be happening if Trump was in office. None of it would.
Nope. Yep.
You know,
right.
and Americans are just so damn gullible and just so
they are.
fall for anything, you know? We really need to reflect and think about what's important to ourselves, our family, our country.
I'm glad you said that.
It's not even about politics, man. This is going to be about survival. This is going to be about survival. We better start thinking about where we're going to get us some money from.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
because I was looking at that too. What's going on with Iran and they dropping all these bombs?
Yeah,
we're sitting up here distracted with what's going on with celebrities.
Yeah,
out of here. I don't care anything about it. I'm like you. We need to be looking at what's going on overseas with all
Yep.
these wars. That's what
And
we
they're just sucking us right into it, sending our sons and daughters,
right.
our sons and daughters over there to be unalived and come home missing body parts. You know, our sons and daughters
That's
who
what
only went in there to escape the hood from being shot to death in the street.
And now, yep.
And now you're going to send them over there to get killed over there.
Facts. That's what they're trying to do. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
If you want to send somebody over there, train them illegals.
Yeah,
send them to military, send them to boot camp, train them, suit them up, strap them up, and put them on the front line. They want to earn a living, pay them like you pay everybody else, but put them on the front line.
Right.
Make them earn their keep.
Yep. Yep.
Make them do something. Make them do something to be proud to be an American.
To repay those.
To earn that. This ain't a given. This is a privilege to be American.
To repay the taxpayers for the billions of
what
dollars.
They did. That's right.
For the billions of dollars. And now we're broke. Now another hurricane out here churning on the way, and FEMA's broke.
Get out. 750. That was such a disgrace. For her to even stand up there all proud and say that with her.
You know she was, yeah.
Yeah. $750. Get the finger. $750. No, $750.
You get $750 and you get out of here with that. A lot of them just telling her what she can do with that $750.
There's all kinds of stories coming out now about the process of getting that little 750. All right, all over TikTok, all over Instagram. Yep. All right, people are saying that it's a reimbursement process. All right, you got to spend the $750 first. Submit your application with your receipts. Okay,
it's a whole process,
and then they will reimburse you. That could take months and years.
Yep,
for you to get that little $750 back.
And they're not telling you that, but I saw that too. Yeah, it's not. They're
not doing nothing for nobody. They're not doing nothing for nobody.
You saw what Jim Crow Joe Biden. He it was on my video yesterday. Since they broke FEMA, he's asking Americans to go and help their fellow Americans.
And help them. Yep.
Which we do that anyway, but I'm saying.
But then when Trump went down there, the day after and did go down there and help, they criticized him, condemning and complaining about what he's doing. But then Joe Biden turns around and says that we need to go down. Americans need to. Well, he did. He did. He was the first one. He set the example. Then he raised $5 million in a GoFundMe. But then you want to criticize, condemn, and complain about what the man is doing. But what are you doing? What are you doing is the question.
Exactly.
You know? And anybody on this.
We just lost Miss Brame. Ruby. You're right. Many of them have no cell service, no internet. How are they going to submit the application? So she stood up there and said, "Oh yeah, they're going to get $750." It's not that simple, folks. Valerie, where they're going to mail the checks to? Valerie, you're absolutely right. Those towns, they're not even recovering bodies anymore. They said they're just going to bulldoze everything. And so yeah, those people like myself who like to go to your loved one's gravesite and place flowers, I would be very upset about that. Right, Valerie? And so they're making it seem like everyone's going to get $750. No, you have to jump through hoops. You might get it and you might not get it. I don't know what happened to Miss Brame, but we just lost her. Do something, just like they criticized him for going to the 13 Lost Soldier Memorial and said it was only for a photo op. Doing something, it doesn't matter what he does. They're not going to say anything good about it. We know that. I really enjoyed all of you. I'm sorry that we lost Miss Brame. I wanted you to say goodbye. Roger said FEMA only reimburses uninsured losses. Yeah, Roger. So I have homeowners insurance. But what about it? You know, God forbid, like, again, there's another hurricane out there churning. What would I do? Homeowners insurance, you know, they're a little sketchy too. And they try to get out of it any way they can, even though you do pay your premiums, right? Eric Adams wants citizens to take in illegals, and now we must rescue hurricane victims. Ruby gets it. These, yeah, we had the money. They spent it on non-citizens, so now they're coming asking the American people who are already financially strapped to come through. No, ma'am, no, sir. But we're going to do what we always do and help our neighbors. But this is ridiculous. And you want me to shut up and vote blue no matter who? It'll never happen. Um, so that's all I have for you, folks. I enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Oh yeah, Roger, they do, and most of us don't have flood insurance. Who can afford it? So that's just where we are with that. Um, Alley Cat, you're fine, dear. How did you all enjoy Miss Brom? She was great, wasn't she? And so next Sunday, you remember Prosperity and all of the wonderful Chicago residents who attend the city council meetings. They're coming back. So make sure I told you I am not giving up. We are getting closer and closer to the election. I told you I'm going to bring as many people in as possible, right? Do something. And so, yeah, God bless all of you. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, folks. Um, I'm glad you loved it. Thank you. I have another group, like I said, Prosperity, and I don't know how many people she's bringing, but we're gonna light up this studio again next week. And just remember, people, we can do this. I signed up. Remember, sign up. I signed up to be a poll watcher. I signed up. I went to Trump's website. I signed up for everything that they had. I signed up for like 5 or 6 different things. So I'll be doing something. Um, okay, there's Miss Brom. She made it back. There she is.
Sorry about that. My phone died. So I
Oh
had to
no.
come. Yeah, I had to come into another room where my charger is. Here, let me turn down the.
Okay. Yeah,
Let me
because I
turn
wanted
down
you
my
to give
TV.
your parting. Yeah, we were just getting ready to go, but I wanted
Yeah.
you to give your parting shot. I was just explaining to everyone. Thank you, Pinky. Pinky said, "I have the best guests. I try hard, and hey, everyone does a good job." I was just explaining to them that I went on to Trump's website. I signed up to be a poll watcher and 5 or 6 other things. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you like to say to everyone in the chat in reference to this 2024 election, everything going on in this country? What are your parting shots?
Mm. I think that, we need to really focus on what's happening at the border. Number
Okay.
one, okay, making sure that we are informed. We have the facts and no spin on
Right.
Kamala's position, all right, on border security,
Right.
and on Trump's position on border security, right? You could
Mhm.
easily Google that stuff.
That's
Go to her website, see what's on. If nothing's on it, then that means she has no plan for it. Okay, but
good.
if you go to Trump's website, you'll see. All right. We need to be focusing on the economy. All right. Focusing on our pocketbook. This Thanksgiving, I know in New York, turkeys are expected to be $60 to $70 for one turkey.
Woo!
Yes, yes.
Jesus.
All right. Hams are in the hundreds. Right. So
Really?
yes, yes. So people are not even they already decided they're not even doing turkey or ham, they're doing chicken. All right. So they're gonna do the oven stuff or roast or whatever. So we need to be focusing on pocketbook issues, right? And stop being, so gullible, and stop being, believing what we're hearing from the news and on social media and all that.
Right.
Encourage one another, lift one another up, motivate one another. It's going to be hard because a lot of people are so, frustrated, and
Right.
and and, and feel so downtrodden, and
They
they don't
do.
see
They do.
they don't see any way out. All right. And they
Yeah.
don't feel that no matter who they vote for, that it's not going to make a difference. But try to be reassuring, and let people know that
Yeah.
we have to change our thinking. We have to open our minds and be open to doing something different, and that includes walking away from the plantation of the Democratic Party. There's
Yes,
nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear but fear itself.
that's right.
How would we know? How would we know what it's going to be if we never tried it before, if we never did it before? It's like we have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. But
We
we
don't.
do know what to expect if we continue to vote Democrat. All
Ah,
right, because we've been continuing to vote for them for 60 or 70 years, and we see what the
the
return that
result,
we're getting on our vote. We see the
nothing,
return. All right.
nothing, nothing.
So we have nothing to lose by
You
trying
don't.
something different.
You don't. You really
People
don't.
saying that their vote doesn't count. So then what difference does it make who you vote for? What difference does it make if you try something different? If you
That's
try
something
something
new.
different.
Hmm.
So it's like we have to just use common sense in our thinking. And Kamala's not black, right?
Thank
Kamala's not
you.
black, and it's not a good enough reason to vote for her.
Mhm.
She
Policy,
she's been
policy, policy.
she's been in office for 3.5 years as vice president, and she showed us that what her work ethic is, all right, and how effective she would be, which is nothing. We've got nothing from her. Not one
Nope.
person can say or identify anything that she's actually done. All
Nope.
right, and even with her policies, people just keep saying superficial stuff that don't make any sense. That are not going to change. Nothing to help us. No meat. There's no meat on what she's saying. Trump is
Mm-mm.
giving you real meat. He's telling you what he's going to do. He's
Facts.
going to bring back jobs. He's going to open up them the manufacturing industries, right? The Keystone Pipeline, all that stuff. All that stuff is jobs.
That's it.
We don't want to be sitting here in our communities depending on a check every month.
Mm-mm.
Able-bodied individual, all these black men that are out here that are unemployed. Yes, the illegals are taking the black jobs. Period. All right, they are. Even the garbage men in Chicago. We know that sanitation is predominantly a black job. All right, and
Right.
that goes across the board. All
That's
right,
right.
and that's just what it is. And now we have, migrants, non-Americans that are taking over the garbage jobs. All right, the garbage man jobs. So yes, they are taking over black jobs. They are.
Wow.
So we have to stop being offended by everything that someone says.
You got
Right?
that right.
Stop being offended.
Not
All
that
right.
serious. Exactly. It's not that
And
serious.
stop letting these rappers, these washed up comedians, all right, these has been athletes, all right,
Oh my
who
God.
got arthritis, all right, been to 3 4 marriages, and the wives and took everything they got. All right, one of them got AIDS, all right,
Hmm.
God forbid, and another one raised his son to be a daughter. All right, so how is he going to tell
I'm not
black
listening to
men what
right.
they should do and who they should vote for?
I'm not listening to anything he's saying. I am not. No. And he's a
Taraji,
millionaire.
Taraji Henson telling us to research Project 2025. Did she research Project 2025 before she
Probably
stood up
not.
there and said that?
No.
Evidently, she didn't. So
He
any
got,
of yous who have not researched Project 2025 need to research it and find out that Trump is not the author of that.
and he's
Okay?
told, and they know that. They just keep trying to put that in his
Yeah,
lap, and they know he
yeah.
didn't do that.
So stop listening to these washed up rappers and actors and comedians and athletes, because they're doing that. They're paying them 250 grand to get up there and say that.
That
They're
part.
paying them money.
I
Yep,
did a video on that. They're paying them.
they're
Uh,
getting paid to say that.
when
Yep,
you don't have policies, you have to pay people. When
yep,
you have policies, you're good.
yep.
So, we want to thank
So,
you so much.
oh, you're welcome.
That was we were just going to close out before you came back on, but everyone was saying they enjoyed it. It was wonderful.
Good, 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 good. I'm glad.
And we hope that this is not just the first and last time that you're on the channel.
Hmm.
And like I said, I've shared all your information in the description box.
Thank
Uh,
you so much. I appreciate it.
and we
Thank you.
appreciate all of your time and your effort, everything you're trying to do for the victims of crime, everything you're trying to do to wake people up about the evil, satanic, vile, demonic Democratic Party.
It's
I'm
crazy.
yeah.
Hmm.
If you ever need me to speak at an event, because I despise them as much as you do. You have all my contact information, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
will definitely do that
You
for
know,
you.
we'll collaborate with you're in Chicago, right? No, you're in North Carolina.
I'm in
You're
North
in North Carolina,
Carolina.
but you
I'm
work with the
5 minutes from where your son is.
you work with that group from Chicago, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So hopefully in the near future, we will
You
get
want
to
to collaborate?
collaborate. We will
Okay.
get to do a collab,
Okay.
between New York and Chicago, and that would be major.
Yes,
That would
ma'am.
be something that, so
Well, I'm
people can
gonna,
get, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'll talk to Miss Prosperity and let her know that's what you want to do.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Chicago Hood, who lives in Chicago, said that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
They love it. So I'll speak with her, let her know that's what you want to do, and then we'll
Okay.
come up with something.
Okay. We'll see if we can get some support. Some
Yes,
some
ma'am.
some travel and lodging arrangements and different things like that. We'll see if we
Okay.
can get somebody to support it. All right,
Let
to
me
finance
know.
it. All right.
So yeah,
I will.
or we can do a big time Zoom. There was a
And
Zoom
do a
house,
fundraiser. Or we could
right?
do, yeah, we could do a Zoom. Yeah, we can. We
Okay,
can.
so let me know.
All right. Either way.
And I'll let you know once I talk to her and see how, because everyone's schedules are different. So
I
I'll see
know.
what
I
we can do.
know. I know.
So
Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming. Election is coming. All that.
everything's
So
coming.
people like crazy busy.
But
Crazy
I'd
busy
like to
this
do a
time of year.
Zoom. My
Okay.
subscribers told me, because you remember that Zoom that they said 10,000 people were on it. I don't know. But if we could get together at least for a Zoom, that would be great. And everybody, all of us we're not with her, and we can bring in as many people, and we can talk, talk about
Let's
our
do it.
journey.
Let's do it. But remember, we 30 days or less
So we
to
need to work
election.
quickly.
We need to do that within like yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me talk
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
Prosperity, because
Okay.
I'll be talking to her all week, because since they're coming on next Sunday. So let me talk to her, and then I'll get back with you.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much
much.
for having me. And thank you to all of your viewers and listeners.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Have a
I'll
blessed
be in
week.
contact.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wasn't that great? Oh, that was wonderful, people. I told you. I'm going to let you go. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative for you like it was for me. Okay, I'll do something. So I'm going to let everyone go. Miss Brame, you tell Miss Brame to stay safe. Yeah, stay safe. I'm going to get ready to go. And I'm going to meet you in the comment section like I always do. All right. And don't worry, things are going to work out. Things are going to work out. Yes. Madison, all of you who were here to make this interview a success, I have nothing but love for you. I appreciate you. I love you. And just remember, we're going to win. And we're going to be, I heard a song today by Queen. I love Queen. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting to the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. Don't worry, we got this. I'm going straight to the comment section. And love you too, Alley Cat. I'm ending this stream because I want to come talk to all of you. Love you, Roger. All of you I love. I'm coming to the comment section. I'll see you in a couple of days or two. I'll be live again. Love you.